Hey everyone, today I want to do a quick video on YouTube superstars. We're talking people with hundreds of thousands of subscribers minimum, all the way up to the most subscribed YouTuber of all time right now, which is Pewdiepie, with over 33 million subscribers on his YouTube channel. And what we're going to be talking about is what has happened to them and how some of them have lost their luster, you could say, and how others have kept their luster throughout all these years. And I, as a YouTube viewer, have been watching many of these channels since their inception, since they first began with their first video. And so let's start out with the, I guess you can call them tragedies in a way. Some channels, despite having accrued so many subscribers, now have almost gone literally not bankrupt, but their videos are getting like no views anymore. And I've explored and researched and looked at the topic, and the general thing that I've found is that the ones that have kept at the top versus those who have sort of failed, or not really failed, but not gotten that many views anymore, is because they've started branching out to do other stuff. They decided they don't really want to do what they've been doing, and they branch away from their moneymaker, I guess you can say, started doing other stuff like vlogs or fashion videos or just random videos that are not related to what they want to do. And sometimes it's for the better, like they're more happier doing it. They're not in it just for the money or the views. And sometimes, like for instance, Athene Wins, who's a channel I'll be covering later on, they have decided to focus entirely, almost entirely, on charity. And so that's one of the reasons why their videos have gone to a completely different direction. And the next biggest thing I realize is these channels, usually they've changed their frequency of uploading, usually to a point where they're uploading daily, when before they were uploading very high quality videos in the style of their money makers on a weekly or bi-weekly basis. And now they've changed to something like a daily vlog of some sort. And so anyhow, I've reviewed about 10 of the biggest channels out there that I've kept up with for many years. And let's just get started with the losers. So the best measure of this, I found, is engagement rate. You take a look at the total number of subscribers that they have right now, and then you look at the average number of views that their recent videos for the past half year or past few months have been getting. And then you take a percentage of that. So if on average the newest videos are getting maybe 1 million views each, and they have 10 million subscribers, then they're getting an engagement rate of about 10%, exactly 10% with each engagement. And what I've found is that the engagement rate on these very popular channels, ranging in the millions of subscribers, vary dramatically. So let's talk about the biggest losers. The biggest losers, I guess the biggest loser would be Fred. And this is, kind of sad, but at the same time, he's done very well. He's probably made a boatload of money. He appeared on Nickelodeon. He had his own clothing brand at one point, at Hot Topic, and he made a lot of money. Let's not argue that. And his channel's still going on, but it's definitely very different from how he used to make his videos, from the very first video he uploaded on his channel, which I watched. And he's definitely branched away purposefully from his moneymaker. That whole series and TV show, I guess you can say, where it's this little kid with this high-pitched voice, and the videos are just specifically made to be almost to keep you from going away, and for people who have very low attention spans. And it's just boom, all this stuff happening, something new every few seconds. And now he's doing all sorts of random stuff, vlogs, random new things, cartoons, and uploading them on a daily basis. And I just feel like the quality of these videos are not that great, and it's completely different. So anyhow, this is his engagement rate. It's less than 1%. It's horrible. He has about 2.371 million subscribers, which nowadays, compared to the amazing channels out there, it's not, I mean, it's a great amount of subscribers, but like I always thought, you know, back in the day when Fred was king, he had so many subscribers. He was like #1, and now 2.371 million is like nothing, which is so ridiculous how YouTube changes. And he gets around, on average, 20,000 views on each of his videos that he uploads on a daily basis. And you can definitely see he started to partition this out and have other people make videos for him and make appearances, but now he's sort of like decided to change his ways, and now he's more coming out as who he is in real life, as Louis Crankshaw, I think is his name, rather than this Fred character anymore, and it's a definite different spin. So let's move on to another, I guess you can say, loser, but I think she's doing her own thing, and it's making her happier, and this is what she wants to do. So Girl Gone Gamer, she has about 500,000 subscribers right now, and she started off doing gaming videos with her playing Call of Duty video games and commenting on them, commentating and so forth. And now she's branched off completely to something completely different. Apparently there's this huge scandal, which I sort of researched, where who knows if it was true, but another very popular girl gamer with a lot of subscribers called her out because apparently a lot of her, at least her recent videos, some of her old ones also, may have been faked, where she wasn't actually playing the game. And I feel like it may have been true because she never really addressed the question, but who knows. Maybe it's not true, but the general consensus or idea was that basically she was using other people's footage, and she wasn't really playing the games or getting the kills anymore, or she started to branch away from that, and some even think that from the start she never played these games. And you can definitely see it may have been true, because now she's taking a completely different spin in all her videos, which she uploads almost on a weekly and sometimes daily basis, are these vlog videos where she talks about life, talks about fashion, talks about her childhood stories and all this stuff. And she's definitely made a huge switch on what her channel is about, and she still managed to obtain a decent amount, and I would consider this a very, very healthy engagement rate. I would say this is around average, sometimes better than average, depending on the channel you're looking at. But she gets about 5% engagement in her videos, and it's around 30,000 to 40,000 views per video, which she uploads on a daily basis. And I mean, you can argue that's not really even a losing rate. Like, some of the channels I'll be talking about get worse off by a lot. Again, like, who knows if it's true? Let me know in the comments if you think it's true. But apparently she when she started to make this change, she slowly started, I guess, getting tired of Call of Duty, and started without telling anyone, using other people's footage and then just commentating on the videos. And I know how it is, you know, you don't want to, your heart's not in something anymore. But from experience, I've learned that's not the best approach. You want to be honest with your audience, and she's made a decent transition, I guess you could say. So another, I guess you could say, loser, and I say this with quotes because they're not really all losers. Technically, they're still getting more views than I get in my videos. But Athene Wins is one of the most longest lived channels on YouTube. It's been around for years and years and years, started out as a World of Warcraft channel, and it's went through a whole lot of different styles of videos, from World of Warcraft gameplay to very sexual, misleading thumbnail videos with one of the female characters. And now it's changed completely to be more charity based, and they basically stream for charity. And now it's on this another level where they talk about the most random stuff, and they keep adopting games that the changing audience likes. So it went to Minecraft and Diablo and StarCraft and League of Legends, and its main personality, a theme, has been very controversial because of some of the things he does. He often trolls. He often makes a lot of official events very trolly and just horrible. Or I like him in certain ways. And one example would be he did a very official best 3 out of 5 1v1 match with this very, very well known, very accomplished professional League of Legends gamer, and he played a best 3 out of 5, and it became evident when the event finally rolled around that he was pretty much trolling around, and he knew he was gonna lose, so he staged this whole thing where it seemed like police were raiding his house, and long story short, it seemed pretty fake. And at the same time, it was just like, really, you're gonna do this to make it seem like you couldn't play the match? And he had already lost the first 2 games of the match, and then he just started doing this sort of stuff. So I feel like some of that stuff ends up biting you in the butt more than helping or promoting or engaging your fan base and audience. And he has a somewhat negative, I guess you can call it, perspective on certain subreddits on reddit.com, huge populations of hundreds of thousands of people in the community, and a lot of people hate him. But anyhow, his engagement rate is about 2%, which is pretty slack. He has around 729,000 subscribers, and he gets about 16,000 views on average on his videos. And he's one of those people that follow this trend where he's now uploading on a daily basis, sometimes multiple times a day, and the volume may be diminishing the quality, and also his videos have changed completely from what they once were. And let's move on to another YouTuber. His name is Pamaj. Pamaj is a recent YouTube celebrity, I guess you could say. His subscriber count has gone off the roof in the last year or two to about 1.6 million, I believe. And he gets around a 6% engagement rate. It's pretty healthy for a newcomer, and he does Call of Duty commentaries. Some of his high quality videos get millions of views, whereas some of his low quality, not low quality, but daily content gets the 6%, which is around 100,000 views on average. And so he's a good standard to show you what the current rate is. And he's not really one of those people who's been around YouTube for a while and had to keep up with things, or keep up with the Joneses in a way. But from, again, as a disclaimer, from what I found, the people who end up sticking to what has been their moneymaker has done the best. Speaking of moneymakers, let's talk about Smosh. Smosh is probably one of the longest channels, and the most well-known channel, one of the most subscribed channels, and still doing very well. And they have done it by keeping their moneymaker. They have stuck to what they do best, which are these short comedy skits using their brand of humor. And sure, they've improved the quality of their videos with production and lighting and a crew, but they've kept to the same content. And I remember watching a video where they give, I guess you can say advice, but it was more just like a comment. And one of the two big personalities who are the forefront of Smosh, he said that the YouTube audience is they always want the same exact thing in the same exact way with maybe a little twist, but always the same exact content and same thing, just slightly different, so it's not the exact thing as before, and it's not copyright infringement, but it's very the same, very similar format, similar process, and so forth. And I think that's a great piece of advice from one of the most successful people on YouTube. And they have generated numerous subscribers. They're right now at 19.5 million subscribers, and they still have a very good engagement rate, despite being on there for so many years. And they're always at the top. They're always in the top 10 most subscribed, and they've been doing this for years, ever since YouTube started. And they're at about 1 to 2 million views per video, which is around a very healthy 5% engagement rate. So applause to Smosh. And at the same time, I can kind of understand the other channels who want to do something new. They get tired of doing the same thing, even if it's making them money. So to each its own. Let's move on to another channel. Let's talk about Nigahiga. Nigahiga is also one of those channels that has been there for many years, just along with Smosh. Smosh has been around longer, but Nigahiga has been around for many years. And it's a channel that literally has done the same thing. It has kept up with the crowd. And his videos have been getting better and better. And you can see that he's finally started to, for the last few years, hire people. And he has this very small crew of about 2 or 3 people that help him, whereas Smosh has this large crew of 10, 20 individuals. And with Nigahiga, he is at the top of the engagement rankings. Check this out. He has about 13.5 million subscribers as of this moment, and he gets around 2 to 3 million views per video. And if on a good day, on a good video, it can go up to 5 million views, which is up to an 18% engagement rate on his 2 to 3 million, and an even higher engagement rate once he gets that 4 or 5 million occasional video, which is a ridiculous engagement rate. That's like 1 in 5 of his viewers are active and watch his videos, which is incredible. And from what I've seen on Twitter and other social media, save Vine, which is another story, that's a very high engagement rate, and it's just ridiculous. It's like, that's insane for you to keep your fans that in tow, that engaged with you, and that active, despite being on YouTube for so long. And I think he does it by doing, I mean, it's not one reason, it's so many things. Again, first off, he's stuck to his moneymaker in terms of the style of comedy and format of his videos, but he's definitely improved and engaged and added things to increase the quality of his videos. And I saw one of his most recent videos, and it's just one of those things where his whole mentality, it's the same thing that I see in a lot of successful people. He always pushes the envelope and tries to do things that cannot be done, or he thinks cannot be done. His most recent video was on this, it was a parkour video, and he addresses from the start that, heck, I can't do parkour, and this is one of the most requested things of me, and it just can't be done. And then he plays on that, and then he literally finds a very unique way of doing parkour with, I guess you can say, photo snapshots, cardboard cutouts of himself. And the whole message behind the video was, hey, even if no matter what you try and you don't think you can do it, try anyways, and think outside the box, and maybe you can achieve your dreams one day, which is somewhat cheesy, maybe somewhat unrealistic in certain ways. Like, you can't become Michael Jordan if you're 2 feet tall. But heck, I mean, it's a very inspiring message, and it'll probably help out most of the audience who, through their limiting beliefs, can do things that they think that they can't. Anyhow, let's move on to White Boy 7th Street. This is another gaming channel, one of the most popular, well-known, longest-lived gaming channels out there. And he has a very average engagement rate. His videos have changed for sure slightly. They used to be all commentaries of Call of Duty videos that got lots and lots of views, millions. And now he's gone on to still stick with Call of Duty somewhat, but at the same time, he's now gone on to do these daily videos that are comedic skits and random stuff like that, sometimes vlogs and so forth, that get a fairly healthy, I guess you can say, 4 or 5% engagement rate. And it's all right and stuff, and maybe this is the direction he wants to go on, but it's definitely not. I'm sure if he stuck to his moneymaker, he could probably do much higher engagement rates than that. I do think the quality of his videos and the type of videos he makes, one could argue, has gone down, because usually when you do these sort of things and you do this switch and you do it on your main channel, you're gonna lose some of your subscribers, and on top of that, it's like, well, you're a master at what you do with gaming content videos. You, like, if you want to switch to vlogs and stuff, like, it can work, but you're probably not going to be the best, and you're going to be competing against these vlog channels that are going to be the best. So maybe start a vlog channel for that, which a lot of people do, or really study how you're going to make this change and do it. But again, he's doing decent. He has a fairly healthy engagement rate. Alright, let's talk about some of the big winners. I mean, Nigahiga is one of the big winners in terms of engagement and what he's done. But let's talk about Vsauce, probably one of the biggest engagement winners. Vsauce hasn't been around as long, but it's been around for a few years, and on top of that, it's been able to keep up with engagement to a ridiculous extent. It has about 8 million subscribers, and on average, around 2 million of them, that's 25%, watch each of its new videos that's released maybe once a week or so, sometimes more. That's ridiculous. On average, it gets around 2 million views per video. It's one of the highest engagement rates given its high subscriber count. I mean, sure, if you have 10 subscribers and all 10 watch your videos, that's not as cool because you only have 10 subscribers to cater to. Whereas when you have 8 million, that's very hard to get a quarter of them to come back consistently. And the most incredible thing is that some of its videos jump up above this average on quite a few occasions and get 4 million views and 5 million views and so forth. And it's just incredible how Vsauce has been able to accomplish this. And I mean, what can I say? Like, it's just incredible what's been done. And what it has done is kept to the exact opposite of the formula, which is stick with its moneymaker, do the videos in the format and quality and content that it does. It does a lot of these science videos that's often has a lot of cool graphics, cool footage, and really backed up with a lot of evidence and science and scientific studies that just opened your mind to very interesting things that you talk about, stuff that I like to talk about in my videos oftentimes, just about science, evolution, physics, weird questions that want to be answered, like what happens if you're out in outer space, will you immediately die? And they go into depth on exactly what would happen from a physics perspective. Your eyeballs would be sucked out of its sockets due to the lack of oxygen and a vacuum that is space, and all this really cool stuff. Like, do we all see green in the same way? Is green really green? Is that color green? Okay, I'm going off on a tangent, but Vsauce is pretty cool, and it's kept its content, and it knows what it's doing. Everything from its thumbnails to its engagement, the way they edit their videos, the time they put into this, it's just incredible. And what I found, which is rather an unfortunate thing if you want to be a star YouTuber and you hate editing videos, is that if you want to be a star YouTuber, most, if not all of these people edit their videos, and the real winners spend a heck of a lot of time editing their videos to perfection, and then getting the best thumbnail and all this stuff, titles, description, tags, everything, to just the highest quality, Vsauce being a clear example, to have all their views. So that's one thing you really want to look into if you really want to be a subscriber. Heck, if you don't like editing, you may have to hire someone or get someone to do it for you. Finally, let's talk about the rule breaker. This man is the most subscribed YouTuber of all time as of this current moment. His name is Pewdiepie. He has 33 million subscribers, and he breaks a lot of these trends in certain ways. Pewdiepie, generally he sticks to the trends, like things with thumbnails, with engagement, with editing your videos to the T, so that every second is very exciting and engaging. He tries to do that, and he follows the trends. However, there are certain things that are surprising. First off, his engagement is pretty normal. He gets about 2.5 million views on average on each of his videos. And that's a pretty average 5%-ish engagement rate. Maybe around 4 or 3% actually. Here's the kicker though. He breaks the trend in that he is one of those people who creates these quality videos, but does it and uploads it on a very high frequency, high volume level. He's uploading sometimes 2 or 3 videos spaced throughout the day on a daily basis, and that's one of those things that